got the blues. I've got the alcoholic blues. No more beer, my heart to cheer. Goodbye, whiskey. You used to make me frisky. So long, highball. So long, gin. Oh, tell me when you're coming back again. Blues, I've got the blues. Since the amputated my blues. Lordy, Lordy, war is well. You know, I don't have to tell. Oh, I've got the alcoholic blues, some blues. Prohibition, that's the name. Prohibition drives me insane. I'm so thirsty, soon I'll die. I simply grind, evaporate, I just that dry. I wouldn't mind to live forever in a train. If my thirst had only let me quench, and not with feeble or ginger ale. I want real stuff by the pail.
Welcome to the Speak Uneasy, a safe space where cancel culture does not exist because we are in a different prohibition era.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of This Is News with your host, the bartender. Tonight's random read is going to come off of the book of Acts, chapter 28, verses 1 through 10, Paul's healing ministry on Melita. And when they were escaped, then they knew that the island was called Melita. And the barbarous people shewed us no little kindness, for they kindled a fire and received us everyone, because of the present rain and because of the cold. And when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, there came a viper out of the heat and fastened on his hand. And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, No doubt this man is a murderer, whom thou he hath escaped the sea. Yet vengeance suffereth not to live. And he shook off the beast into the fire, and felt no harm. Howbeit they looked when he should have swollen, or fallen down dead suddenly. But after they had looked a great while, and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds, and said that he was a god. In the same quarters were possessions of the chief man of the island, whose name was Publius, who received us, and lodged us 3 days' courtesy. And it came to pass that the father of Publius lay sick of a fever and of a bloody flux, to whom Paul entered in, and prayed and laid his hands on him, and healed him. So when this was done, others also, which had diseases in the island, came and were healed, who also honored us with many honors. And when we departed, they laded us with such things as were necessary. Once again, this random read comes from the book of Acts, chapter 28, verses 1 through 10. Paul's healing ministry on Melita. What a great read. What a great read. I guess you can gather this. The way I see this read is, your first impressions of somebody. I mean, it's pretty much a don't judge a book by its cover type of deal. Unfortunately, first impressions do make a big impact on how people think about who you are. But, for some of us, um, you know, although we have to make a first impression, I think getting to know somebody even more longer will shed a light upon who they really are. So that's what I can gather from that read. That's a beautiful read. I think so. I mean, I definitely have gone through that in my life for a long time, where people thought I was a type of person, and come to find out after they got to know me that I wasn't what they thought I was. So I can so totally relate to that read. Anyhow, unfortunately, my co-host is not here with me today. I've noticed that he has been hasn't been streaming lately also. So I will continue to pray for my friend out there, Mr. C, even if you're listening, or if not, just know that you will always be in my prayers no matter what. You're family to me, and I'm always gonna wish the best. And also, with what you're going through right now with your physical pain stuff, I will continue to pray for you, my friend. Just know that if you're out in the airwaves somewhere just listening. Anyhow, so I don't know if you guys were here last Monday, but I started working out on Monday. And because I've started to work out, I kind of tweaked the way I've been eating as well. So what I'm trying to allude to is that I won't be drinking a cocktail, although I'll be having me a glass of neat bourbon. So I don't have to put any extra things into it that it already has, especially with bourbon being 51% corn mash. That's already not so good for my body. I mean, the things I've been going through since Monday, and I'm in pain right now because I haven't worked out in almost 2 years, actually more than 2 years, to be honest. The soreness has just gotten to me, and I don't want to have to throw away all that work for nothing. So what I'm going to do is just have a single, maybe a double of some Four Roses small batch bourbon is what I have tonight rather. So let me read a little description of how the tasting notes and all that is. This is coming from fourrosesbourbon.com. And this is small batch. So it says here on their website, if you've ever wanted proof that mingling bourbon is an art unto itself, you'll find it in this perfectly balanced small batch bourbon. Four Roses has been around for a long time, and they have a very good reputation. They make very good bourbon. 4 original bourbon recipes have been expertly selected by our master distiller at the peak of maturation to create this very mellow and perfectly balanced bourbon. You can enjoy it best straight up, which is what I'm going to do tonight. It's going to be nothing, just straight up. And I've built a palate for that. I couldn't drink neat whiskey, bourbon, or scotch before, but I've definitely built that palate up and can appreciate all the tasting notes, the smelling notes of the liquor. Let me continue to read on here. You can enjoy it best straight up on the rocks or simply with a splash of your favorite mixer. This is 90 proof at 45% alcohol volume. So here we go. Let's go ahead and pour a little bit of this on the rocks glass here. Man, this smells pretty good. It smells pretty good. This was given to me as a but a Christmas present. I want to say back in 2021 from a coworker of mine. So anyways, here's to Four Roses small batch neat. Cheers, everybody. Solid. It is strong. It's 90 proof. So let's see what we got. So on the tasting notes, we got some berries, some dried spice. The finish is pretty smooth, and it gets soft. So initially, it gives you a kick, and then it kind of mellows out from there. So that's to Four Roses Small Batch Bourbon. Cool. All right. So we got 4 articles tonight to review, as we are on This Is News. I don't see. Oh, okay. There's somebody in the chat. Hey, what's going on, Kiss? Good evening to all. I don't know. There's probably two, maybe one of you out there, but I see Kiss nonetheless. Good evening. Thank you for always being here, Supermod. Kiss, you are awesome. All right, let's get this started. Don't want to waste too much time. We got 4 articles here of This Is News. So let's go to the first article here. Let me get to my share screen here for you guys. But before I do that, let me just shut this music off, because I don't want this to become a current problem that I have every time I do the show, every time I switch screens on you. All right, here we go. First article of the night, up to bat. What's going on, Rail and On? I see those eyes of yours. This one comes from ladbible.com. You know, I'm beginning to find very, very interesting stuff in this website. I don't know where they're at politically, but they do have a lot of interesting stories here. Like this one, the one that we're starting off with right here. This one was published on March 28th of this year by Jaden Collins. And article reads, "Man who wanted to escape his family has lived in airport for 14 years. Dang. I mean, a married life for him must be really horrible. His kids must be driving up. His kids must have been driving him off up the wall. Nonetheless, let's continue on with this article right here. Airports have long been seen as the gateway for escape. Sure has, especially for this guy. To get away from the day-to-day life and explore the world beyond. Well, let's go see what kind of world this guy's exploring. Well, one lad took the term escape a little too far after venturing to Beijing Capital International Airport 14 years ago and never returned. Isn't it synonymous with that movie, The Terminal? A little bit, somewhat. Wei Jianggo, a Chinese man in his 60s, has lived at the airport's Terminal 2 since 2008. It must be a really cool terminal if he decided to stay there. It must be a really cool terminal. I wonder how he's making a living. I mean, I wonder how he's paying for his food. Or if he's working for food. I don't know. How's that working? His reason for never leaving? He wants to smoke and drink without his family bothering. Oh, wow. All because he wanted to drink and smoke? Really? Well, there you go, man. I mean, that goes to show what he chose over his family. He chose his tobacco and booze over his family. I mean, I'm surprised he's not at the bar tonight. Not, at least not on this bar. Let's continue to read on. We've all been there. No, we have not. Family bothering you to no end. Craving a holiday away for a bit of freedom. But most of us come home eventually. Okay. So I admit, like, I did take a few vacations by myself away from my family years ago. But this is, of course, when I was going through, my family stuff. And when I was spending more time at work than I was at home. And decided for myself that, I'll take like a week or 10 days or something, go away for a bit and come back home, which was cool. I mean, it was cool for a bit, but now that I'm mended with my family and all, like, I know what's important to me now. I'm very happy. Like, I don't want to leave my family. I have to admit, I don't want to leave my family. Although my 10-year-old daughter she's at that age where she's pushing me away every time I try to sneak a hug or a kiss on her forehead. She just kind of just shoves me away. But nonetheless, like, for me, I love my family, and I want to go everywhere with them. And I know, I do understand I only have a short time with my 10-year-old daughter. I do. As far as my son goes, the boy is 23. He's 23. He's 23. No, he's going to be 23. He's going to be 23. And already, like, he doesn't want to be around his family. He's always going out with his friends, which is cool. I get it. I was once early 20s and didn't want to be around my family. But then I would have thought that since I'm not such a bad, I don't think I'm a bad dad. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just the age. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyhow, what I'm trying to say is that I love being with my family. I don't care if they give me a headache or they don't. I love my family, and I'm happy where I'm at. Obviously, this guy, there's deeper issues than just tobacco and booze with this dude. I mean, maybe the booze, but there's got to be something deeper than that, you know? I don't think it's just the nagging. I think it's how they nag him. I think that's what it is. I really do. Okay, let's read on. I've read that. However, Wei has decided that he's never going to be ready for that holiday to end. Talk about a permanent vacation from your family, dude. I mean, just get divorced, bro. Oh, man. He told China Daily, I can't go back home because I have no freedom there. But then if you live in China, do you really have freedom? I mean, I guess if that's what you consider your freedoms to smoke and drink, I don't know, I guess. My family told me if I wanted to stay, I had to quit smoking and drinking. If I couldn't do that, I'd have to give them all my monthly government allowance of 1,000 yuan, which is what is that, Australian $200? What? See what I mean? Like, are you really free in China? Government allowance. Government allowance. Look at that. Who wants that? Well, that's a different story for another day. Because I've been reading on stuff about the Great Reset, and they're in the middle of. See, now I'm veering off to a different subject. Anyways, yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Whether we don't want it, or whether people do want it, it's already been, the ball's rolling, was what I'm trying to say. The ball's already rolling to get this thing started. I mean, the banks play a big role in this, so the ball's rolling already, man. I hate to tell you guys, I really do. I really, really, really do hate to tell you that, but you know, that's not what, you know, I'm not here to freaking give you something you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what's going on, mostly through your spiritual connection with God, you know, but I still kind of check things out from time to time. And as far as this Great Reset thing, they got the ball rolling already. There's nothing that is going to stop it, you know? Only they can stop it, unless spiritual intervention happens. But I think we're all going to go through this ugly thing. That's just my opinion. Do I have any facts on that? No. It's just things that I observe and I make an opinion, and that's just my opinion. Anyhow, let's get back to this this man's life here. Wei has also decided to give up on looking for dude. You see what communism produces? Wei has also decided to give up on looking for work after he was laid off in his 40s and struggled to keep a new job because of being too old. That's an excuse, dude. The dude, I mean, clearly the dude had, and it's so ironic that I mentioned this because, this is the bar and I'm having a glass of bourbon right now. But mind you, I only do this on the Wednesday shows, and I don't drink too much either. What I'm doing is I'm just easing my mind today, and I'm having a drink with friends is what amongst friends right now is what I'm doing. And I think there's bigger issues for this dude. I think the alcohol part definitely has something to do with it, and I definitely think the way that his family presented that ultimatum to him, like he said, "F this, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go to the airport." So I guess that could be a trend, right? Like if guys married dudes like have a big argument with their wife and want to get away, they're like, you know what, F you, dude, I'm gonna go to the airport and I'm just gonna stay there for 14 years and counting. Oh gosh, this is funny, man. This is just funny to me. This really is funny. But yeah, I think that's an excuse, man. He's lazy. He's lazy, and a big part, and that's probably why his family nagged on him, is because he was just drinking too dang much that he didn't take care of himself, and his priorities in his head just wasn't in there, So I can almost see that the problem was with the booze, and also the ultimatum, how it was presented to him as well, Anyways, let's go on right here. Surprisingly, he doesn't have the longest tenure of living at an airport either. A Turkish man. Oh, this is a trend, guys. Turkish man Bayram Tepeli moved to Ataturk Airport in 1991 for similar reasons. Wow. Similar reasons to that of Wei's, and lived there for a whopping 27 years before the airport closed in 2019. Dude, so is this going to be the new trend for dudes to just walk away from their family if they want to choose their tobacco and their booze over their family? They're just going to go to the airport? How are you going to support your habit? I mean, I know the access is there because they have bars, right? And if you're in an airport that's an international airport, they have duty frees, so you can buy stuff there. But like, how do you make a living supporting your habits over there? I mean, do people actually give you money? I guess you can say it's like having somebody panhandle on the side of the road. But this takes panhandling to a different level. We're talking about international travelers here. Wow, this I've never heard of this, but I've seen the movie Terminal. Not a fan of the dude who was the main actor, but damn, dudes are gonna start going to the airport to run away from their families because they want to feed their addictions. Okay. All right, let me read on. He now lives in Sabiha Gökçen Airport. Wow. So he went from one airport to another airport. Okay. What is it about airports that these guys just want to run away from their family from? They go to the airport. What is it about airports? According to Daily Sabah, Tepeli left his hometown in Gemlik due to family problems before flying to Istanbul to find work. Wow, okay. I wonder how he made that decision. So I wonder how he made that decision at that moment, saying to himself, you know what, I'm just going to live in the airport. I wonder what happened. Was he like, Was he like bumped off a flight many times that he just said F it and just said, I'll just live here? Who knows? I don't know. He looked to find a new job at the airport after following directions for his boss. Wait, let me read that again. He looked to find a new job at the airport after following directions from his boss. He worked for a short time and has lived ever since. Okay, so is he working at the airport? Because I get it if you're working at the airport and then you're living there because you kind of have a place that you can sleep, I guess, and you have a place where if you're working in the airport, you can still support yourself. I guess you can, This is interesting. This is just so interesting. I've never heard of this before. I seen the movie, but that was different, That was different from these guys were running away from their family. He told Daily Sabah, my former boss told me one day that he found me a job where I wouldn't need to find a place to stay anymore. Then I came here. What? I really don't get this, man. And trust me, I was traveling for the last 2 years of my job, back and forth between here and I am not a fan of the airport at all. I am not a fan. There are a lot of weirdos in the airport. Not to mention, like, having to just travel is it's just a pain, man. Especially now. Especially with all these things where, you got to wear the muzzle and all. And then having to see people wear that and it's cringy to me, It really is. It's cool to be in the airport if you're going for vacation, but for work purposes, hell no. Hell no. After suffering from health problems, he was forced to quit the job at the airport, but decided to continue making the terminal his home. Okay, so he used to work there. I guess you can find places while you're working and then make friends and they'll let you stay in certain places. I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. Back in Beijing, Wei is often subject to police and security clear-out where they drive him back to his home in Wangjing. However, he says he always finds his way back. Wow. He really doesn't want to be around his family. That's sad. I find that really, really sad. Sad, but it's funny. Like, of all places you can go, why the airport? I get it because it's shelter. You can use the bathroom and you can, I guess, quasi take a shower there without having to pay. As far as food goes, like, how do you support yourself? Panhandling? I don't know. He said, I get expelled, lay low, and then I come back just like old times. At least I have my freedom in the airport. Do you? Because I didn't feel like I had freedom in the airport at all. I always felt that like I was being watched. So no, I disagree with that statement because I used to travel. And plus you're in China, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I guess if that's all you know, I guess if that's all you know in that country that you're from, then I guess you can consider that being free. But in my eyes, I don't see that as being free. I really don't. It's sad, but nonetheless, it was good material for the show tonight. All right. Let's go back to the bar here. Bam. Well, let's go. We are over here. Yes, we are. Let me go back to the bar and see who's on the chats because I kind of see some people there. Okay. We got some people up in this place. Cool. Let's see. Kiss, thank you for dropping the links. Thank you so much. Whiskey Blue, what's going on? What's going on, brother? Thanks for coming by this evening. As you guys have not noticed, I do not have a co-host today. He is not feeling well, and I continue to pray for my brother, and I continue. I will ask you guys also, please, give him prayers too, as he's not feeling good, but we're all here to help pick up our brother, Mr. C. Let's see who else is here. Trick Pony, what is going on? Good evening to you. Thank you for coming by. What's going on, Pilled? Cheers to you too, my friend. Thank you for coming by, Pilled. Let's see what else we got here. And that's everybody that's on the chat so far. So let's go ahead and let's go to the. The reason why I'm laughing is because of that article. It was funny. It's gonna be the new thing. Some Turkish dude did it. Some Turkish dude was there for 20 odd years. So is this like a world record, trying to set a world record thing going on between the two? I don't know. But yeah, I really I don't know, man. Like, if this is going to become a trend, that would be sad and hilarious at the same time. So anyways, let's go to the next article. Man, this one right here, man. I just had to do this article because of, yeah. Anyhow, let's go to the article. Bam. All right. This one comes from Summit.news. Summit.news. This one was published on March 25th of this year by Paul Joseph Watson. And if y'all don't know who he is, I think he's like an Infowars guy. He's an Infowars guy, isn't he? I don't know if he has his own thing going or if he works for Infowars or what the deal is, but nonetheless, I remember him when I used to watch AJ religiously. Anyhow, okay, so the reason why, it's obvious why I picked this, right? Because I started working out on Monday, and boy, am I sore. Boy, am I sore. But I don't have, some people will have that thing in the back of their head. What did I get myself into? No. This for me, the feeling that I'm getting right now is this should have been done a long time ago, and this is what you get for waiting so long. So, anyhow, article reads, MSNBC, peace claims, health and fitness is new gateway drug to the far right. I mean, really? I mean, we're not surprised, are we? MSNBC, we're not surprised. Before I even go any further to this article, because the whole, there's the big story, or the big thing that's the big thing that's being spread out amongst the news, right? Or I would say the new thing that's distracting people now is the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing, right? That's the whole new distraction right there. That's to keep, people are reporting on that left and right just to get you distracted from things that are really going on. Just like, in my opinion, just like this war. Okay? I remember Two Rivers sent me a video, or he sent me a link to watch live videos of what's going on in Ukraine. I don't know where in Ukraine. It could be multiple cities. I don't know. But my understanding is I guess Russia is doing the whole war thing among the coast, because economically destroying that country, that would be the smart way to do it first and then work their way in. But what I'm trying to get at here anyway, and I know the reason why I bring this up is because, okay, here we go. I lost my train of thought. Okay, I got my train of thought. So I guess it was Howard Stern who equated this whole thing of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock and connected it with Trump somehow. How? Where's the connection? I don't understand the connection. But people who are lazy to think for themselves are going to be like, oh yeah, you are so right. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like this article right here that I'm about to read. How the hell do you equate health and fitness to a political party? How do you do that? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. I know liberal people who work out. I don't. How is this a new gateway drug to the far right? I mean, where's the equation here? Who wrote this? This is this article came from Paul Joseph Watson, but I'm talking about the MSNBC person. This is a result of Common Core education. This is the result of you can identify as whatever you want. This is the result of brainwashing kids. You get reporters who report on stuff like this that don't even equate to how does health and fitness and political and politics, I don't understand. I mean, yeah, there's politics in health and fitness, like if you're competing or something, but that's different. Like, how does that have to equate with like liberalism or conservatism? Because you care about yourself? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. Anyhow, let's read this. Let's go ahead and read this foolery. Look at that. It says Clown World up here too. Clown World. Bemoans how solidarity, heroism, and brotherhood are linked with physical training, dude. I'm trying to understand, but I just can't. And that's sad because I skipped a lot of high school. I still graduate, and I'm a product of the public school system. And I'm still able to equate certain things with other things. But this, anyway, let's read this thing. Let's read let's read this thing. Okay. MSNBC published an article claiming that shadowy people on the Telegram Messenger service are recruiting far-right acolytes by talking about health and fitness. I need a drink. I need if I get a little bit more alcohol in me, I may be able to understand. I need a drink. I don't get it. I don't get it. I might have to drink the whole bottle to understand. I might have to. I don't know. I'm not going to put myself through that, though. Yes, really. Apparently, health and fitness is the new gateway drug to the far right. Dude, I've seen far right people who are like way out of shape. Way out of shape. But I don't see any connection there. Like, how are you going to convince me? How are you going to convince me that working out equates to... Okay, so just because I'm a little... because my beliefs are conservative and I'm beginning to work out, so you're going to make an equation off of that? Because I work out, because I care about my health, therefore I'm far right? Yo, Rush Limbaugh, dude. Dude was big. He used to be big before he got sick, right? He was a big man. I don't think he was a working out type of dude. I really don't think he was a working out type of dude. And that guy was pretty dang extreme as far as being on the right. Dude was freaking like, he was there. I don't think he was working out. He was a big dude before he got sick. He was a very big dude. So I don't know, man. Can anybody please out there tell me, how does this equate to anything? How? Has the left just gone bonkers and just started saying random stuff to equate to other random stuff? But this is what's going on in our world now. This is what's, and I'm trying, and the purpose for all of this, like the purpose for this show on Wednesdays, this is news with a question mark, right? The purpose of this show is to show you guys the stupidity of what's going on. And I know a lot of you are aware of the stupidity, but I'm trying to knock stupidity more into you. Like, I'm trying to show stupidity even more. So you realize that, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't know, it's entertainment, I guess. But also at the same time, for people who just recently woke up, right? For people who just recently woke up to what's going on around the world, I'm trying to show them the stupidity of liberalism, you know? And look, we got some dumbass conservatives too, okay? I'm not taking sides here. We got some dumbass conservatives too, okay? I don't know who they are, but dude, I'm not going to say because you think like a conservative, you're a very bright guy. No, some people just, because I've talked with people who are conservatives as well, and sometimes it's like, yeah, you don't make sense to me, but okay. Anyhow, let me continue on to this, because I am very curious as to how working out or exercise or fitness equates to being on the far right. I'm very interested. I'm please shed some light. An article headline: Pandemic fitness trends have gone extreme. Well, okay, wait, okay. Hold up there. Hold up. Wasn't there a moment when this whole pandemic begun, when people were believing the stuff that they were fed through the media, that they used to consistently go to the gym or possibly got bored because they were in lockdown, right? They got bored at home. And part of beating boredom is doing something physical. Like, you need that energy. You need to export that energy out sometimes. You got to do something in order for you to let out what you need to let out, right? Exercise and working out is part of that. It relieves stress. I mean, although you're going through stress, because I know I was going through stress when I started on Monday, it releases the bad stuff, the unhealthy stuff. It lets it out. Okay. Now during when people were getting locked down and all this stuff, they needed to find something to keep them sane. And I think working out was a good way of keeping people sane. And now you're telling me because the trends of fitness during the pandemic went up, you're telling me that now, well, you gotta also during the lockdowns, people were changing their minds about things because they were finding out what the truth was about what all this stuff was all about. That's what happens when you keep people locked in. They're going to find something to keep their minds and their bodies busy. You know what I'm saying? And I still don't know how this equates to far right beliefs. I still don't. All right, let me read on here. Literally asserts that online fastest gym bros are colonizing mixed martial arts and combat sports spaces as some kind of secret plot to amplify what? Neo-Nazi and white supremacist extreme ideologies. Okay. Here's my take on this, because this is BS. This is BS. This is like flat out BS. And because I used to train jiu-jitsu very consistently, okay, I suspected that a lot of the people that I trained jiu-jitsu with were liberal, just based on the conversations that I would hear or see the posts that they would make on social media. Okay. So I guess they're now far right extreme because they train jiu-jitsu, or I don't know, even if you want to push it to MMA. So you're telling me that because you're doing a certain activity that makes you like, I don't know. My hands are up. Like I don't know. I don't know what this is all about. I really do. I'm trying to find a different angle of how they would come up with this. Is it because they want people to stop, like they want people to accept being fat even more? I mean, I'm even trying to dig into that side too right now in my brain, but I still can't find any logic to. I just can't find any logic to this. Okay, hold on. Let me continue to read this. As some kind, amplify neo-Nazi and white supremacist extremist ideologies. And then here's a Twitter feed. MSNBC. The far right's obsession with fitness is going digital. Why? Because they're just sharing ideas about how to improve yourself or keep yourself healthy, or I don't know. I don't understand this. Opinion says why the far right is really into home fitness. Dude, they're into home fitness because they figured out that since you locked them down, they invested all this money into the equipment they bought, and now they're stuck. Like, they don't want to be wasting the money that they spent, and they're saving a lot more money working out at their house than they would pay for a gym membership, which I still do, even though I haven't gone to a gym like in 2 years. And I should stop. I really should stop, because I need that. I need to stop. I need to stop that payment for nothing. I really do. White supremacist latest scheme to valorize violence and hypermasculinity. I don't get that, dude. Has gone digital. Okay, so this is probably some soy person who wrote this, because there needs to be a balance in the world here. Like, we can't have a bunch of emotional dudes around here. Like, how is order going to be kept if we don't have masculine men? How are men supposed to take care of their families, right? I'm an old school dude, okay? And I've always, my belief, and this is just my household, like you guys can do whatever, you guys can think whatever you want, but for my household, my thinking is that the man is the one who goes out and hunt for the family. He's the breadwinner, right? The bread earner, I should say, the bread earner, not the breadwinner, but the bread earner. And, I made a promise to my wife when I first married her that one day, and this is when I was young and still irresponsible and all sorts of, I was all jacked up. I wasn't ready to get married at 23. Anyhow, I promised her this, and I kept my promise. I promised her there's gonna be one day when you and I will have a family, and there's gonna be a day where you're not gonna have to work. You take care of the children, and I will do all the manual labor. And for years and years, like ever since I started working, as a cop, like 15 years ago, I kept that promise. Like my wife was able to stay home. I mean, she got a little part-time job because she got bored. And like I told her, like, it's up to you what you want to do. I prefer you not to, but if you're going to do part-time, then that's cool. And, she did a part-time job for a little bit, but then she realized that, it's not even worth her going to work when I was able to cover all of us. And so, she's always been the woman of the house, and I've always been the man of the house. But now now, like tides have turned now because it's different. Because I don't have a job anymore. This is one of my jobs. I'm doing the whole DJ thing full time now, which is, it's a hustle, man. But things are looking good now. I'm beginning to book things now. So I'm very happy for that. It's coming around. It's coming slow, but it's coming around. But now this is a whole family effort. Like my wife's assisting me with this whole thing now, with the whole DJ thing. Of course, most of the stuff is going to be falling on me because I'm the one with the experience on how to do things and certain things. But she's helping me out, and I'm so grateful for that. And at the same time, I'm teaching my daughter how to do all this, like how to DJ. I'm teaching her how to set things up. I'm teaching her, and at the same time, like when she gets older, I'm gonna start teaching her the business part of it, because I'm only learning right now. I'm learning as I go with the business part of it, because I haven't been in the business part of this thing. I never have. I mean, I was in the business when I was 12 years old till like my senior year in high school, and then off to doing like a club for like a few months. So as far as like making deals and all that stuff and taking care or running an event, man, I'm learning as I go. And as soon as I get the years in, I'm going to be handing that knowledge off to my daughter if she's still interested in doing this. And by the way, look, she loves DJing, but I have to show her the reality of it. It's a hustle. But it's something it can be done to make a living off of. And that's what I've chosen to do. And this is a family thing. So now we got the whole family doing this together. But what I wanted to say, because I saw this whole hypermasculinity BS here, is that a man has to be the head of the household. Like, he's the king of the house, dude. Like, you got to take care of your own. That's what a family is supposed to be like. You can't have, like, and look, I'm not trying to talk down on dudes who decide they want to stay home and be a stay-at-home whatever and let their wife do the work. Like, I don't believe in that. I don't. Could it be pride? It could be, but you got to understand, like, I know a lot of you guys know that I came from a broken home, and I promised myself as a child that I would never do that to my own family. And I have surpassed keeping that promise, and I will stick to that till the day I die. Till the day I die, I will stick to that. I will stick to that principle. As a man is responsible for his family. If a man can make a family, a man has to be responsible enough to take care of his family. So that's what I'm all about. Anyhow, I know that kind of went off in a tangent there, but it's still relatable because of this thing that they call hypermasculinity, which I think is some liberal word. Liberals have their own dictionary, man. They make all sorts of words up. They should have their own dictionary, man. They really should. Because there's a lot of words that I've never heard in my life before this whole woke thing became a popular thing. And yes, this whole woke thing is like a fad. To me, this is all a fad. It's also a way to brainwash younger kids, man. Okay, physical fitness has always been central to the... What? Wait. This is bullshit, I'm sorry, but I know some liberal people who do work. Like I just mentioned, people I used to train jiu-jitsu with, I had a feeling that they were liberal only because of the stuff that they would talk about or the stuff that they would post on social media. Now, this is BS, dude. This is complete BS. Physical fitness has always been central to the far right, writes Cynthia Miller Idris. She has no clue what the hell she's talking about. She's probably a product of, what's that? What is that? Common Core? I don't know. No common sense education? Or probably for virtue signaling, because virtue signaling is another thing, man. Like, how are you going to teach people to make themselves feel good about standing up for one thing, but only for a selfish reason? You know what I'm saying? Who previously wrote articles smearing the Canadian trucker protesters, as far right extreme. Okay, so you're saying, and here's another thing that does not equate to me either. You're calling the Canadian truckers protesters because they didn't want to comply with some BS about the whole jab thing, and they would get their freaking, like, they're not allowed to drive trucks. No, that's just somebody who's standing up for their rights, dude. Like, so you're telling me that just because you stand up for your rights, this is all, this is all, it's, you're a far right person just because you stand up for what you think is right? What is that? I don't get it. I the whole liberal thing, I don't get. I mean, I kind of get the whole, you tolerate, but even the tolerance stuff, I don't know, man. I really don't know. They jumble words around to make it seem like it's one thing, but it really is not. Liberalism is devil thinking. I'm going to just flat out say it that way, dude. Because the devil is known for trickery, right? So this is how I equate liberalism with. Liberalism is the spell of the devil, dude. That's just the way I see it. Oh, boy. Being into the male body, training see, what's so wrong about masculinity? Testosterone, strength, and competition, and embracing massaging around. Oh, wait, is that? Yeah, massaging or messaging? Messaging. Yeah, it's messaging. Jeez, I can't read. Messaging around solidarity. God, this thing got me all fired up. Heroism and brotherhood is apparently a bad thing and a precursor to racial violence. How does that equate? Because, on the other platform where I DJ at, I'm pretty sure a majority of those people are liberal. I'm pretty sure a majority of them are. But there's a very, very tight knit. We've become tight knit community because we help each other out. We don't talk about politics and stuff like that. But just based on, like I said, just based off of things that are said on social media and stuff, I can tell that a lot of them are liberal. They could be communists. I don't know. But nonetheless, like, I know their true colors will show when the time comes. Like, if there ever comes a time where I have discussions, like just have regular talks or even meet them in real life and stuff like that. But it's a tight-knit community, and I can say that there's a brotherhood because it kind of is a brotherhood. We're DJs supporting each other, man. That is a brotherhood. So maybe I should open up and say, hey, well, did you know that according to this person, being close and like a brotherhood quote, in air quotes, is toxic masculinity and being far right? And they're probably gonna look at me and say, what the hell are you talking about? I really don't get this shit. I don't. Okay, let me continue to read because I see the chat moving, and I know I got to get back on the chats. But let me continue with this article. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. The columnist claims that people who link physical training and fitness with promoting the concept that physical warriors are needed to create the strength and dominance to defend one's people from a perceived enemy are creating cadres of white supremacist Okay, dude. Really? So now self-defense is now you're a white supremacist? Dude. The things that the liberals will say just to freaking get people's attention and then put their lying spell on them, dude. No concrete examples of any of what is claimed in the article are presented. Of course it doesn't. Of course there are no examples because they don't have one. They're just spewing a bunch of stuff hoping that somebody will just get hooked into that and believe it. Because that's the type of public we have now, dude. That's the type of sheeple we have. People don't think for themselves. They're too lazy to do it. They want people to think for them. They want people to decide what they should do with their own lives. When you should be deciding yourself what you should do for you. What's best for you. Respondents reacted by slamming MSNBC for stirring up more harmful divisiveness. Okay, guys, now you've done it. Now you've literally politicized something which should have been left alone. Good job, guys. You morons, commented one. No, you know, I recognize this. I do. No, I'm going to say as much as this is not moronic. This is on purpose. This is on purpose because this is what the devil does. The devil always, he always deceives people. So you like doing something like this is like casting a spell on somebody. And if you're not spiritually, if you don't have that relationship, or you don't recognize that they're casting their spell on you, then you're going to be weak and you're going to believe all that stuff. You really are. You know? So I wouldn't say that they're morons. I know they know exactly what they're doing. They know that a vast majority of people won't, you know, I mean, well, I take that back. They know that a vast majority goes on headlines and not read the actual story. So that's what they did. They cast the spell on the headlines itself, where people just, because a lot of people, they don't read the actual stories. They don't. They see the headlines because, you know, you're scrolling on your phone, right? You're scrolling on your phone and you see these headlines and you be like, damn. And you don't even read the story. You just keep on scrolling. And that's how a lot of people are. That's the truth. That's the truth. I used to be like that. You know? Anyhow. WTF. I did 10 push-ups and now there's a swastika tattoo on my shoulder. Dang. If all you did was 10 to get a swastika on your shoulder, can you imagine what I would have? Dude, I did like... Okay, what did I do today? Okay, this is what I did. So I do high intensity interval training. It's called HIIT training. And today, what I did was I did 5 cycles of 5 different exercises. Okay, and I was using a kettlebell. So I did what did I do? I did kettlebell presses, chest presses, and then I went on to doing kettlebell cleans to what did I do? Oh no, I did chest presses. These are all kettlebells, 1 arm each. Chest presses, rows, cleans, squats, and then shoulder presses. And I did 8 reps for 5 cycles of that. Like all these exercises, the 5 exercises that I did was nonstop. It was just all 5 exercises, like, 1 arm at a time. And then I took a minute rest in between cycles. So if you only did 10 push-ups and you have a swastika tattoo already, I wonder what I have. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. It is, but at the same time, I see what they're doing. They're using headline articles to catch somebody's attention and feed them tell them that's true. Is there any more to this article? Is there any more? No, there's no more. Okay. Let's go back to the bar. This is, oh my gosh. Let's go back to the bar. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Let's go here. Okay. Now I need to go to the bar. All right. Let me see who's up in the chats, man, because I see the chats are populating and populating and populating. Let's see. Kiss says, we'll start with Kiss. She goes, my mom took off when I was 6. Wow. 6 years old and didn't see her again until I was 22. Wow. Well, I hope, here's my hope for that. because this is my experience with my broken home experience, okay? I looked at everything both my parents did, and yeah, let's just say that between the good guy and bad guy, I guess you could say my dad was the bad guy because he's the one who kind of, he cheated on my mom, and it's just a whole story that I really don't want to get into. But anyhow, like, just your typical, like, my dad cheated on my mom multiple times, and they finally, whatever, they broke up or whatever. But anyhow, the way I saw life as a kid with my parents is that I looked at them and I said to myself, as I got older, as I became a teenager, and mind you, like, both my parents weren't there. Like, my mom was more of the parent, but let's just say that things in her life happened where she couldn't be there often because of, well, for one, she had to take care of me and my younger brother. I'm the oldest. And for two, she went through life almost losing her life. Let's just say it that way, okay? So that was two things right there that prevented my mom to have a relationship with her kids, or her children, I should say, because she was responsible enough to take care of both her children, even as a single parent. And she remarried when I was in high school, yeah, I mean, I just looked at myself, right? I said to myself, like, if I ever have a family, like, I'm not gonna put my family through that. I'm not. Which is kind of ironic because I almost did. Like, a couple times. I almost did. Actually, 3 times I almost did. So, but the first time was definitely all that. I can honestly say to myself that the first time was because I wasn't ready to be married at a young age, and I was still foolish. I was not that responsible. I mean, yeah, I was trying to hustle for a job and all that stuff to get work. I was trying to look for a steady, good-paying job that can provide for a family of 3 at the time. So yeah, I was just not stable. Like, I wasn't stable financially to have a family, and the decisions that I was making was stupid mistakes. And I was thinking with my thing rather than with my head and my heart. So yeah, I've used that as a lesson for me. And what I'm trying to say to you, Kiss, is that I hope that you kind of did the same thing as you gotten more older and mature, that you promised yourself that you wouldn't do that too. But I kind of understand that sometimes things in your life happen and things don't work out sometimes, and that's understandable, because sometimes you just don't know the person till you actually live with the person. I'm fortunate enough to have such a great wife. I really am. And I'm blessed. Like, she left me, to be honest, from the first time I messed up. She should have left. I was telling her to leave. Like I said, I don't want to be married to you anymore. But I was lucky enough. I was so blessed and lucky enough. It could have been God's grace, to be honest. It could be. It had to be. It had to be God's grace that she decided that, no, we're staying together. We're going to work this out. And I'm very thankful for that. I really am very, very thankful that she tolerated the shit that I put her through. And she was mature enough to say, no, we're going to work this out. And I'm glad for that. I'm very happy for that, because look now, like, I'm a very happy man with my family. Very, very happy. I never saw myself as a family dude, but I guess being what I went through as a child, I was able to, instead of using the victimhood thinking, I said to myself, no, these chains got to break. Like I'm not going to continue this. My kids are going to see what a complete home is. They're going to be treated, they're going to be raised by a father who's going to treat them like a father, not like as some father who's irresponsible and just try to be friends with them. No. Not in this household. My kids are very respectful. They really are. My daughter's hard head, but that's I can't help that. I was hard head too. Anyhow, Whiskey Blue says Clown World, right? I mean, come on, dude. Really? This is, dude. Okay, so now the times that we're living, things that were bad are now good. Things that were good are now bad. Now, and I, you know me, I'm always going to refer to godly things when I say this, but the devil's definitely got a control over this world. He does. Let's just be up and open about this, right? The devil's definitely got a grasp of this world. Like he rules this place because people fall into the foolery all the time. They get fooled, they get fooled, and they don't have that spirit. Like they don't have that spiritual strength or discernment. They don't, because they don't have the light shine up, but like they don't see stuff because they haven't open. I guess they don't have that spiritual thing in them, And I'm not trying to put down anybody, but I think if you're in tune with having a relationship with God, in my opinion, in my truth, because look, what I share with you guys is all real to me, and I can honestly say that every testimony that I've talked about is true. It's real. It happened. And there's no logical reason, like there's no human logical reason how things happened the way they did. Yet this only happened to me, and I'm only able to see this now because I have this relationship with God. And if I didn't have this, these things wouldn't be happening to me. And I wouldn't be feeling the way I am right now, because I'm very happy. I'm a very happy man in this house. I'm very happy. Okay. And I think part of the reason why you guys like to come here is because you see that happiness with me. And I want you to have the same happiness as well. And the only way you're going to do that is if you have your relationship through God. Of course, through his son, Yeshua. And then ultimately that relationship with Yah. So, yep, it is a clown. Well, I wouldn't say it's a clown world. It's more like a devil's world. It sure is. Pilled says, what's that? Is that it's cow farts. Cow farts, global warming sure blowing a lot of gas. Yeah, MSNBC. Oh boy, Whiskey Blue. If you don't agree with their nonsense, you're a domestic terrorist now. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. This whole thing about free thinking is now a very, very evil thing. It's evil to be a free thinker. It blows my mind, though. It really does. Because we were pushed to think for ourselves. And now, like I said, the good is bad, the bad is good. But that's what the devil does, man. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Let's see. Pilled says, "Kiss. That's so sad. Everyone need to feel loved by their mother. That's hard on the fragile eggshell mind." No, I agree, but you always have to. Okay, so every time you go through something like really traumatic, or every time you go through something traumatic or heartbreaking or sad, or even depressing in your life, you always got to take some kind of lesson from it. You really do. And that's the only positive way to put it. Because if you keep this whole thing about woe is me, you're never going to get out of that bunker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to find something that you can learn from, and then keep going in your life, because if you ever encounter it again, you'll know how to kind of, duck it or deal with it, or I don't know. That's the way I've seen things. Like, that's the way I've grown this way, where I'm not afraid to, like, even this whole thing with me having my own DJ business too. Like I said, I don't know shit about business, okay? I don't. But I'm learning as I go. And I'm getting advice from people who have done this for a while. And it's I'm not afraid to make the mistakes. If I make the mistakes, then so be it, I make the mistakes and I move on and I learn from it, I don't think we should be afraid. Like we shouldn't let things like that get us down. Like if you go through shit in your life, negative stuff, of course, you shouldn't have to hold on to that and say, woe is me, because you're giving that negative thing power. Now, what you should do is give me more so I can learn more, You should embrace it because it's a lesson, And that's the best way to learn something out of life is when you actually go through shit and have to learn it going through it, because the feeling of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about making mistakes anymore. I really don't. I don't. And if I do make a mistake, and even if it's an expensive one, well, okay. So then I just go on and, I try to make the best of what I can. If I can't, then, oh well, whatever, man. I don't let things like that bug me anymore, man. It just holds you back down. It just holds you down. And right now, like, I have no time to be held down. Even if I make my mistakes, I got to keep going. Because if I don't keep going, then it just becomes a snowball effect, and it's gonna fall down beneath my feet, dude. So I need to keep going whether I make mistakes or not. And I hope you guys listen to what I'm saying and use it the same way, because you can't have that mentality of woe is me. You just can't, because it's going to keep you down there. Just keep on going, just say to yourself, fuck it, man. We're not perfect. Just keep going. Who cares how big the mistake is? Just go, dude. Just keep going, And that's just my thoughts on bad experiences, or, just keep going. Just keep going. Okay? Because there is a goal that you're trying to attain. And even if you fall down like 1,000 times, just keep going, dude. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and just keep going. Let's see. Whiskey Blue says you have to learn reptilian if you want to understand that. Is that even a thing? I don't want to learn reptilian, man. Dude, that's like devil shit. I don't want to learn that shit. Oh my goodness. Whiskey Blue says the liberals only work out so they can dominate women's sports. That's a good one. I didn't think about that. That's a good one. Oh, that's good. That is a good one, man. I didn't think about that. That was good. I guess what's his name? Leah, or what's her? I don't know what the hell that thing is. I guess that LGBTQ people that want to dominate women's sports, I guess they're far right extremists too, huh? That's a good one. Whiskey, that's a good one. You should have your own show, bro. Oh my gosh, that is so fun. DJ Chrisu, my best friend. What's going on, brother? Thank you so much for the can. Thank you for being here most of all, man. I'm so happy that my best friend supports me, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Half a day to you too. Blessings to the family, by the way, man. Say hello to the family. Give the kids a kiss for me. Let's see. Kiss says it's okay. I came out okay. I have a good head on my shoulder. That's good. That's good that you just keep on pressing on with what you got to do. That's absolutely amazing. That's good. And that's how people should be. They should just keep on going. Don't ever hold anything. Don't ever, even no matter how bad the situation is, even if it's like a bad marriage or something, or a death in the family or something to that effect, like, keep going. Keep on going. You got to take care of yourself, because when you keep on going for what it is you're shooting for in your life, that's what's going to make you happy. And of course, that journey is not going to be easy. You're always going to have arrows being shot at you, no matter what it is. And it doesn't matter if you're a really nice person. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be things that are going to be shot at you. And you got to be able to just have the strength. You have to have that strength, that mental strength to just keep on going. You just got to, I have no time to be afraid of learning about business right now. I just don't have the time. If I let that fear steer me, like I'm not going to be able to catch any gigs, or I'm not even going to be able to chase leads, So I just keep on going. And if I fail doing the gig, then hey, I fail. I just dust myself off and keep on going and try to find another gig. But even if I get a bad review, I just keep on going. Just say, hey, well, I'm learning, so. and that's just the way I'm going to put it. Well, hey, I mean, what can I do? I'm learning. Everybody's an experiment to me at this point right now. Let's see. Woke One says Earth is like Earth is like a half-block chakra. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people here are into that stuff, but not me. Not me. Pilled says Earth is not happy and she's a rumbling. Well, all I got to say is that the signs are there for the second coming for sure. That's definitely a for sure thing. Second coming. Kiss says, "Yep, it just makes me stronger. Good for you." And I will continue to pray for your strength, because we all need that strength from time to time to keep on going. Great chatting, guys. I got to get to the next article because the time is ticking here. The time is a ticking, and I don't want to be up here too late, because now that I run my own business, my time is, I need to keep tip top with my time, especially now that I'm working out too, because that's like an extra thing that I do in my life now. I have to. I have no health insurance, so I have to take care of myself. I have to do preventative stuff for myself. I do. All right. Well, sorry, Californian people, but I mean, you guys probably know something about this. Speaking of stupidity, here's some more stupidity for you. Oh boy, man. This just gets more nuttier and nuttier every article we move to, doesn't it? All right, this one's from zerohedge.com. Yes, sirree. Why am I not surprised about this? This article was written on March 24th of this year, published by Tyler Durden of zerohedge.com. Article reads, Newsom wants to give $400 debit cards to California car owners because Putin invaded Ukraine. Dude, see what I mean, dude? How does this equate? How does this equate to the whole Ukraine invasion? Okay, the gas, I get it. But really? $400? Dude, I guarantee you, especially in California, that to fill up a tank is probably going to be up at about $100. Maybe even more if you drive an SUV or a V8 or a bigger vehicle, or even buses or trucks. So $400 is really nothing. It's peanuts, dude. It's peanuts. But then, I mean, like, here we go. The Great New Deal. What's it called? The Great New Deal? What? I told you guys. I told you it's coming. They're already rolling. The ball is already rolling for owning nothing, and you'll be happy. The ball is rolling. Here's a good example of it. Newsom wants to. Okay, I've already read that. It's painful for me to even read that again. California Governor Gavin Bang Your Wife Newsom on Wednesday proposed an $11 billion package he says will help residents grapple with the most expensive gasoline in the country, which has soared to a statewide average of $5.98 per gallon. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. $400 is not. I mean, even if you were to give $400, it's not gonna. It's gonna last you like how many? What? A week? 2 weeks maybe, depending on what you drive. Depending on how often you drive. Dude, people are going to start to make choices between food and gas. It's happening, people. It's happening already. You know? It's happening. And I've said this many times before. Many times before. You don't have to watch the news to realize what's going on around here. Everything's written in the Bible, man. KJV, baby. Everything's written in there, dude. It's just history repeating itself. Included in the proposal would be a $400 tax refund in the form of a debit card. Oh, well, gee, thanks for the little bit. Which would only apply to the registered owners of vehicles, and would be capped at a maximum of $800 per person for those who own more than one vehicle. Okay, this is crazy, dude. This is nuts, dude. The Great New Deal, is that what they call it? The Great New Deal? Or was that the one with the one that Roosevelt did? I forgot. Oh boy. This is not looking, I mean, although this is a foolery right here, I don't think it's funny, man, because this is the ball rolling already. Californians are they're the guinea pigs for this. They're the guinea pigs for this. For those who don't own cars, Newsom would make rail and mass transit free for 3 months. Okay, dude, like, you borrowed federal money for a railway system that is not even, like, it doesn't even work. In a Wednesday statement, Newsom blamed the Russian invasion of Ukraine for the soaring prices. Of course, they're going to blame Russia for of course they're going to blame them for that. Of course. We're taking okay, well, like, we could have had our own oil, but no. Brandon decided to stop the oil, the oil pipes here. You know, we're taking intermediate action to get directly into the pockets of Californians who are facing higher gas prices as a direct result of Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Well, I mean, you already have high prices in California even prior to this happening. Like, the prices of gas was already high. You know, I guess you could say that it add more injury to insult. The prices went higher. It went higher. It was already high, then it went even higher. Let's put it that way. Another excuse to extort money out of people via tax using gas. right? Said the governor, ignoring both basic and economics and the fact that gasoline began climbing in price before Putin invaded. There's the charts, people. Right there's the charts. This guy's something else, though. He really is, man. He looks like American Psycho, doesn't he? He looks like American Psycho. Okay, so Bang Your Wife Newsom tweets out, we're proposing $1 billion in relief, including a $9 billion tax refund for rising gas prices, $400 per registered car, 3 months of free public transit. Dude, this is some bullshit. Oh boy. Okay, I'm not gonna play that stupid Twitter video. You know, it's just, I'm not. I'll continue to read here. Newsom's proposal would apply to all Californians regardless of income, which will undoubtedly spark a fierce debate among state legislators. Dude, that state is already broke, man. Like, what are you going to, even if you do extort more money out of the people, like, how are you going to get that money? How? There's only so much tax raising you can do in the state of Cal. Dude, like, I get it, because I get why people don't want to leave that place because of the weather. But yeah, I tell you what, man, I left that state because I saw things that were happening there, and I knew it was only going to get worse, and it's just going to continue to get worse. It really is. I'm trying to convince a really good friend of mine to get out of there. I'm convincing him, but you know, it's ultimately it's his choice on what he wants to do. I mean, I care about the dude a lot. I care about him and his family, but you know, there's only so much convincing a man can do. A man has to make a decision himself, and all I can do at this point is pray for him, because he's a great guy, and if this is nuts. Some of whom have called for caping the rebates to those with incomes below $250,000, according to the San Francisco Chronicle, which notes that the proposal comes roughly 2 weeks after Newsom said California needs to break free. Dude, you're not breaking anyone free, dude. You're putting more shackles to these people by raising your taxes, you idiot. American Psycho, dude. Californian Psycho, dude. Bang Your Wife Newsom. That's what I call him. Once and for all, from the grasp of petro dictators. What are you talking about, dude? You're a dictator, dude. Whatever that means. Newsom needs lawmakers' support to approve the rebate plan as part of the state budget. What budget? Dude, California is broke. So the payments could start by July, but the prospective delay sparked sharp criticism from Republicans. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. Look, I know a lot of you guys are Republicans or conservatives, but I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm just done. Who've demanded the state provide both a rebate and more immediate relief by suspending the 51 cent per gallon gas tax. Dude, you got to do more than that. You know, gas is just the first step. Like, why don't you decrease a lot of the shit there? A lot of the, sales tax, man. I don't know, man. July, seriously? Assembly Republican leader James Gallagher of Yuba City, Sutter County, said in a statement, Californians are struggling and Capitol Democrats are dragging their feet. How could it possibly take that long? Dude, whoever you are, Gallagher, whatever, you guys are just... It's always a Republican Democrat thing. It always is, and it always will be. and it always will be a spectator sport. And it's always going to be, I support him because he's Republican. Dude, it's a never-ending thing. This is never, like, okay, there may be some noble people left. There may be, but the percentage of that is very, very rare. Very rare. You know? That's just for me. Okay? You guys continue to do you believe in what you want to believe. But as for me, I'm done with this whole left-right thing. I'm done. Yeah, my values are conservative, but I'll just keep it at that. Like, I don't play the politics thing anymore, dude. It's upsetting to me. Because every politician says some shit, they make themselves sound really good, but they don't push hard enough to do what they promise to do. They don't. I mean, the closest person that we've had to that was probably Trump, but, you know, I have my thoughts about him as well. You know, that's just me. You know, and if you guys want to leave me for that, then I'm okay. That's cool. But you gotta understand that I'm more of a spiritual guy now. You know, my walk is with God now. All my chips are with Him, in every angle of my life. In every angle of my life, even with my business, I pray to God for my, you know, for gigs. But I when I pray to Him, I pray to Him to connect me with people of whom I like, if there's some kind of connection there that's necessary. Just like I've connected with some of you people out here on the foxhole. I've connected with some of you guys. And it's not by accident. It's not by accident. So I'm applying that into real life now. Like, people that I have contact with or talk to or make connections with, it's all through God. That's just the way I look at things now. But as far as these politicians go, it doesn't matter who your superstar politician is or whatever. I don't dive into that anymore. I'm done. That was the most unhappiest time of my life when I was so into it. I'm done. I'm good where I'm at. I'm very happy. I'm spiritually fulfilled. I'm very happy with my family. I'm with my family. Man, I look forward to every day to go pray to God and read scripture and talk to Him. And especially on Saturdays when I worship, man, I always look forward to those times. Amazing life. My life has changed a lot because of him. In January, Newsom called for giving residents a gas tax holiday. Dude, F you. Take that gas tax holiday. You know, as a matter of fact, take that nozzle, stick it up your you-know-what, and gas up all you want. Unlimited. By freezing for 1 year the inflationary adjustment to the state's gas tax. Okay, so that's BS, because after that 1 year happens, dude, gas prices are going to shoot up through the roof. They're just going to shoot up through the roof, which was set to take effect July 1st, saving drivers about $523 million total, just for that 1 year, though, probably. San Francisco Chronicle. Newsom's Wednesday proposal includes $9 billion for tax refunds, as well as several additional areas of relief, including $750 million granted to rail and transit. Dude, this is the federal money that he got and never paid back what he owed. This guy's a piece of you-know-what. Million granted to rail and transit agencies to provide free transportation for Californians for 90 days. Not everyone's so sure. And that ends the article right there, man. There's a reason why I left California, and I just had enough of it. I just had enough of California. I really did. That's why I left. And I knew it was only going to get worse and worse and worse. And it did. It did get worse. And especially when the whole pandemic thing started, it got even worse. But, what do I know? I'm just a nobody who watches things and see the moves happening. I mean, I've known about, a lot of these things that were going around with the whole politics and stuff since '06. Like, that was my awakening time. My awakening moment was watching, I've mentioned this before. My awakening moment was watching, I guess you could say, quote, the red pill. The red pill moment for me was when I watched that movie, Loose Change, back in '06. So that was my, quote, red pill moment. But my true awakening, I would say, it was back in 2017. And that's when I started going to God. But I didn't get really serious until 2020, I think. Was it 2020? I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with these politicians. I'm just done with all this BS. It's all a show, guys. That's the way I see it. It's all a show. They say things. They have these speeches. They make them sound really nice so that you be like, yeah, I agree with you, yeah, and then nothing happens. Nothing happens. Anyhow, let's see here. Let's see where we're at in the chats here. Thank you again, Kiss, for dropping the links over there. Thank you so much. Please support the channel, guys, if you can. Check out my merch store. Check out my link tree where all my social media stuff is. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, CloutHub, Gab, Twitter, YouTubes. What's the other ones? I know I'm on Rumble too. BitChute. Yeah, check those out. Give me a follow. I mean, if you do, that's cool. And if you can't financially support the show, you can always share the show. Copy and paste the link and say, "Hey guys, look, check it out. Check this bar out. It's a pretty cool bar." Let's see. Hey, Subpack Vet, how are you doing, man? I haven't seen you in so long. How you been? Hope everything's well with you. God bless you, brother. Let's see. Kiss, thank you so much for the cookies. Thank you so much. Man, Kiss, you've been here for a long time, and you've always been very, very, helpful with me, and you're always supporting me. Thank you so much. God bless you. Just so you know, you're always in my prayers. You are always on my prayers. Everybody else is, but man, there's special people that I put in my prayer list. That I've linked up, that I have a connection with. There's just something about that. Pilled by the Rep says, "Hey, Barkeep, did you say Heber Summit County?" No, I said Summit County. Yes. It was California. It was, let me see what city that was again. Hold on. It's in California. It's Yuba City. Yuba City. Yuba City. It's in California. No, it's not in Utah. So let me take a sip of this, and then we're going to head to the last article of the night, which is more foolery. More foolery for you. If you think the foolery is done tonight, we got one more article of foolery to share. One more article. Can you guys stand it? Are you tapping out already? I think some people have already tapped out. They don't want to hear it anymore. They're like, this dude, man, he just... All right, let me find this real quick. Yeah, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the final article of the night to review. And if you thought the foolery hasn't stopped, hell no. That's why we call this is News. Kiss says, "Of course, bro. Pleasure to help, and thank you for the prayers. Always, Kiss, always. I never stopped. Ever since that first incident you had, I never stopped." Subpack says, "You are appreciated, my friend." Well, thank you for that, man. Thank you. I really, you're another guy that's been here. I mean, I know you got things going on. outside of Foxhole, which is cool. I understand, man. But it's nice to see you every once in a while when you come in. Thank you for coming when you can. Thank you so much, and that goes for everybody too. Thank you so much. I know Pilled by the Rabbit's here a lot. Whiskey Blue is always here. Some people lurk. These are just some of the names that I can think of off the bat who are always here. But we got some people coming in and out, and I understand because there's a lot other there's other shows that go on at the same time. Let's see. Let's go here. Bam. Here we go, guys. This is going to be the last story of tonight, and I saved it purposely for the last one right now. Okay, so this one is coming out of donserber.blogspot.com. I'm assuming it's written by Don Serber. This was published on March 23rd. Of course, during the whole hearing, right? Affirmative actions idiocracy. And I think we touched on this the last show. I think we did a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. I think we did. But then, this article, yeah. Just another example of liberalism gone amok. You know what I'm saying? Because instead of stating the obvious, playing politics seems to be a lot more important than stating what the obvious is. Let's see. If there are two people who can end a half century of affirmative action, it is Judge Ketanji Jackson and Kamala Harris. A dumber pair have never been nominated for such high positions in the federal government. Okay, I'd like to say something about that because although initially, just by looking at our if we look at it with our eyes and hear it with our ears, yes, I agree. But do you believe for a minute that they were actually elected into that power? I don't. I think that they were put there. And I think that this whole thing has always been the same way. People were selected, not elected. I believe that. There has to be a tug of war going on every election time. There has to be. Because that's how you keep the people into it. That's how you get the people into taking a side of one side or another. It's a tug of war. If you guys don't see that, then I don't know, because I've been following politics since 2006, and I know that's not a lot of time compared to a lot of people, but that's enough time for me to see that this is all a tug of war game. It's just a tug of war. It gives you just enough to keep you in, like keep your attention into it, as opposed to what you should be doing for yourself, or having that, or taking your attention away from God. That's just the way. I'm just saying. And people may not want to hear that, but you know what? I'm sorry, but that's the way I see things. Because I'm beginning to see, like, the things that I do in life now, the way I make my every decision in my life now is, I ask myself, is this going to take my eyes off of God? And granted, don't get me wrong, I still make the wrong decisions. Like right now, I'm drinking whiskey. That's not the smartest thing to do, but at the same time, I know I'm not drinking to a point where I'm foolish. I'm just having a glass just to kind of let loose a little bit, And besides, it's only once a week when I'm here on the show, and I'm still on the first pour that I had, But generally speaking, I ask myself, is this gonna take the attention, like my eyes and attention, away off of God? That's what I ask myself all the time now. And having to stop following politics was part of that. Like my eye, like when I was following it, no attention to God whatsoever. Nothing. But now, all attention is up there. And even I apply it to my life now. And I advise people to do the same way. Like, if you're going to do something in your life, ask yourself that question. If you're a follower of Christ, ask yourself, is this decision going to make my eyes and my attention away from God? Because if it is, everything else is a distraction. And who's the one who's good at who's the one who always deceives the people? Who's the one who always lies to the people? Who's the one who wants to keep you entertained? It's the devil, man. It's the devil. It's the devil. I'm done believing in this whole thing with left and right, or I'm done. I know a lot of people might not like that, but hey. And I've had talks like this with Mr. C. We've had talks. And, I love the guy because although we don't see eye to eye on all this stuff about politics and I don't want to use the word religion, but although we have differences on how we see God, we still have the same goal. But even though we disagree with each other, we still respect each other, and I still consider him my brother, Love the guy to death. All right, let me continue on. If there are two people who can... Okay, I read that part. Oh, Dan Quayle was pretty slow on the draw. Bush 41 wanted a baby boomer. Any baby boomer would do in 1988. And when you pick a person based solely on biography, you wind up with a dunce. That's all on purpose, though, man. That's all on purpose. Dude, it's planned already, dude. This whole thing is a charade. It's a charade. That's just my opinion, man. Yeah, of course we still have to abide by laws, right? The law of the land, I guess. We still got to abide by that. I agree. But dang, dude. I mean, if you guys don't see... I see it. That's why I'm done with it. I'm done. And when you pick a person, okay. Look at the next King of England. Who is the next King of England? I see how much I follow it. I don't follow it that much. Biden picked Ketanji and Kamala solely because they were black and female. He got two people who apparently are slower than him. Ooh, gut shot. Oh man, this guy's he's writing a good article here. In her hearings on her nomination, Ketanji got two softball questions. Of course, see, they always get softball questions. Down the middle from Republican senators because they knew she would whiff them. Asked to define a woman, she said, "I'm not a biologist." Okay, so like that's the most basic thing you can... I mean, is it that difficult that you have to be a biologist to figure out what a man and a woman is? Don't you have a family? Don't you have children? Don't you have a husband? Don't you have a vagina? Oh, man. Woo! Asked when does life begin, she said, "Senator, I don't know." Really? Didn't you give birth to children? I don't know, man. See what I mean? Okay, so at least my belief system lines up with conservatism, right? At least that. Liberalism, on the other hand, man, it's like, is there anything good out of it? I mean, it sounds good. But really, is it? Jeez. LifeSite News tweeted, how can Ketanji Brown Jackson say women have a right to abortion when she doesn't even know what a woman is? Case in point, huh? Case in point. I mean, you can't answer a simple question as to what is a female or what is a woman, or really you can't answer that, but yet you want to make these decisions on case laws and all that stuff. No, not case laws. I'm sorry. You want to make decisions on laws and rights, and you can't even answer that simple question? I don't know, man. Crazy, huh? That's the world we're living in now. I mean, that should tell you something, guys. That should be telling you something, that when common sense goes out the door, everything else follows, doesn't it? Now, in the judge's case, maybe she is just being dishonest. No, she's playing politics. I don't think she's being dishonest. I think she's just playing politics. She likely lives in fear of reprisal from transvestite activists and the abortion industry. Cackling Kamala is another matter. She is a disastrous public speaker because she really is not that bright. Consider for these 4 jewels. I don't think that could have some truth to it, but I think it's done on purpose. I really do. I really do, because it gets the people's attention. It gets your attention. It gets your attention. You power it with your attention. When you ignore it, dude, it's like, they start to think, oh shit, this is not working anymore. So of course, when you guys fuel the fire gets bigger, and she's the fire, and the fuel is like you saying something bad about her and commenting and all this stuff. It's just it gives it more. It gives it more flame. It gives it more power, I guess. I mean, that's how evil works, doesn't it? Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. As long as it's out there and it gets attention, then I don't know. What do I know? So Ukraine is a country in Europe. Really? Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So, basically, that's wrong. And it goes against everything that we stand for. The significance of the passage of this time, right? The significance of the passage of this time. So when you think about it, there is a great significance to the passage of time. There is such great significance to the passage of time. Dude, why are you repeating yourself? Is this something that Kamala said? Elections matter, and when folks vote, they order what they want. And in this case, they got what they asked for. I went off script a little bit. And perhaps this is a moment, as life does present us with those moments that challenge us to ask, what is our reason for being? And I think we all know the history of NATO and its reason for being. The spirit behind this term we use, the transatlantic community, the world community, meaning a collection, not a collection of individuals who see themselves as a collection than as one. And that's where we are now. Softball questions really are too difficult to her. Wow. Margaret Brennan of CBS, do you think you're being set up to fail? Kamala, no, I don't believe I'm being set up to fail. But more important, I'm vice president. I'm vice president of the United States. Anything that I handle is because it's tough. It's a tough issue. And it couldn't be handled at some other level. Yeah, she's dumb. Yeah, she's dumb. Biden, too, is a person who was picked for his bio. He is a crook who stays bought. Obama and company knew they could trust him to let them run the country. Really? Is he really running the country? Barry? I'm just saying, man. Barry could be the one, like, pushing, like, holding the control pad, just doing things from, like, what he said. He said that, didn't he? It would be much easier if I was in my basement just controlling something. And then he said something to the effect of that, right? How do we know that that's not really going on? Just saying. Let's see. Obama and his people are running the country right into the ground. Well, I'm sorry to say that I already see things. I see things right now where, yeah, this country is faltering. It really is. And I'm not saying that to be like a Debbie Downer or anything, but I'm just saying that to prepare myself, Things are faltering, and it's only a matter of time, especially with the money. It's only a matter of time where the banks are going to fail, and, look at the gas prices, guys. Look at the food prices. Look at them. You're going to have to make a decision between food and gas. You know what I'm saying? That's a scary thought. And I'm not trying to instill fear. No. Don't you ever think that I'm doing that, because I'm not all about that. But I am about preparing myself, You got to prepare yourself mentally for the worst. You always do. And this is something that I always was taught when I went, ever since when I went through the academy to become a deputy sheriff, I was always taught to prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Because if the worst doesn't happen, then hey, we're good. But at least if the worst does happen, you're ready. You're ready to take on that stuff. And it's, you kind of have to live life that way too sometimes. You do. You got to prepare for the worst. Of course you got to enjoy your life too. Don't be too paranoid, but be aware. I would say be aware. Okay? Because preparing yourself could equate to being like paranoid and stuff. Don't be paranoid. Live your life. But always have that thought in your mind to be aware of things that may happen. And let's face it, dude, like life is not a for sure thing. Everything that you plan out in life is never for sure. It either happens or it doesn't. And who's to say that God was willing for you to whatever plan you had? That's not his plan. So that's probably why it didn't go through. I believe that what we do in our life is because God had planned it out for us. I really do. I really, really do. And, man, it's an incredible thing. It's an incredible thing when you start when I started, figuring out the way God communicated with me. Amazing. Beautiful. Very beautiful. All right, let's keep on going here. Biden is obvious to the world. He just reads what they'll tell him to read. His reading skills leave much to be desired. Well, my reading skills are not that great either. As he said, Putin may circle Kiev with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people. Oh, man. Yo, Brandon is he's a blessing for content for this show, man. He always gives us something to laugh about, doesn't he? Not one in this trio of imbeciles should be holding public office. They shouldn't. You're right. They shouldn't. But you know what? That's who was selected to be there. And they are doing what they are supposed to be doing. And they're doing a good job at it. Come on, guys. History has been repeating itself. People don't want to, they don't, history has been repeating itself, and it's going to repeat itself again, in my opinion, I think it'll be irresponsible to think that that things are going to change. Yeah, it will, but not the way you think it will. I mean, if things are already rolling with this whole Great New Deal, yeah, you gotta prepare yourself, guys. You do. I mean, I've prepared myself as much as I can, and at this point on, like, it's prayers from here for me, because I can, there's only so much food I can stock. There's only so much ammo you can stock. There's only so many guns I can carry. So, like, seriously, there's only so much silver that I can have. There's only so much crypto I can have. There's only so much. And those are worldly things too. Those are worldly things, and they can be taken away from you snap of a finger. Remember the great flood with Noah? Snap of a finger, dude. Let me read on. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier once and for all by being good. His skills and performance got him into the Hall of Fame. The second and third black players, Larry Doby and Satchel Paige, also made the Hall of Fame. I look at Ketanji and Kamala and say to myself, good Lord, black women. Look, I don't want to make this about black women. I really don't. Or even any kind of race to begin with. Because this has nothing to do with color or race or whatever you want to say. This has everything to do with the destruction of freedom. This has everything to do with the destruction of America. This has everything to do with the destruction of God. Because this is actually a battle. You may think it's a battle between you and them. It's actually a battle between the devil and God. We just happen to be here as the pieces. We just happen to be here, and you need to pick a side. You need to pick a side where you're going to be at. There's no on the fence for this anymore. There really isn't. Time is running out. And I don't want to be the one to say, "Oh yeah." No. I will just say, I'm just saying it because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking out loud with my opinions. Okay? I care about a lot of people that I've made connections with here. I do care about you guys. And don't think that I don't pray for you guys, because I do. Because I've already established this relationship with you. I care about you guys. Sometimes you guys will, certain people will DM me and tell me what's going on in their life, and I'm like, dude, I gotta pray for my peeps here, man. And I do. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you guys that everything that I say here, I say with sincerity, and I do mean what I say. And I hope that I'm being treated the same way. Let me keep going here. Do you not have better people to send? If we waited 232 years for a black woman vice president and justice and got these two, maybe we should wait another 232 years for the next ones. Well, that concludes that article. But and this is the angle that I'm going to. Let me take you guys back to the bar. Here we go. We're almost done here. This has all been on purpose. This has definitely been on purpose. This is definitely something that has been in the planning for such a long time. We're talking about decades of planning here, man. We're talking about decades of planning here. And I honestly think, and this is just my opinion, I think we're going to see, and I've said this at the beginning of the year. I knew that this was going to be one of the roughest years we're going to have. I said that in the beginning of the year. I said that. If any of you guys, if you're here who come to my show, you should remember that I did say something like that in the beginning of the year. I said this is going to be one of the toughest years that we're going to face. You can be all optimistic as you want, but optimism doesn't. You can say that, yeah, I want to be able to put positive energy out there for. If that's not the destiny of what we're supposed to go through, then it's not going to be our destiny. We can do as much as we can, but if the destiny's there already, then at this point, all you can do is get on the right team. Get on the right side of it, I would advise you can do whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want. But for me, I think I put all my chips with God. And I think you guys know that already. And I think that's one of the reasons why you guys like to come here, because, I want to believe that you come here because we're like-minded. Or you're trying to find what it is. You're trying to find out what it is that's telling you that you need confirmation that God is real or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It could be anything. But as far as I go, like, all my chips are with God, and I'm gonna stay there. And I'm done. I'm done with these politicians. The time is ticking, dude. I have no time to waste. My time is my salvation. And if I'm going to put my salvation with these fools here that are playing this tug-of-war game of left and right, or bad guy, good guy, I have no time for that. Because the more attention I put into that, the less it takes me towards where my faith should be, which is in God. So you can take that for whatever is worth to you. But my salvation is not worth putting trust into all man. I don't care who you are. I don't give a damn if it's Trump. I really don't. He's not going to get me to heaven. God's son is going to get me to heaven. My relationship with God is going to get me to heaven. I'm just saying, man. All right. Let's see what's up in the chats here. Sea Dragon, food and gas going up in Japan. It's going up everywhere, man. It's going up everywhere. I'm telling you. What's going on, Java? How are you? Love y'all. Love you too. Kiss is talking to Sea Dragon. Java says, God communicates in amazing ways when we are open to listen. Now, I believe that. And I believe that because when I started having that relationship, I began to understand his way. I'm beginning to understand more about how he communicates. And when he tells you something initially and you kind of like, what? And then like as time passes and then whatever message was sent to you and then it comes to fruition, you're like, dang. And you're like really surprised. Java says history repeats itself almost as much as Biden does. You ain't lying about that, man. Woo! Oh gosh. Kiss says we love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. What's going on, PJ Zwirink? The Texan. Hey, what's going on? A black woman president, laughing my fucking ass off. Let's see. Subpack says the best weapon is the one God gave you between your ears. Absolutely. But I'll even add to that. He gave us the Bible, man. You want to talk about a great weapon? And okay, so here's something that I just recently learned, and it just blew my mind, okay? And this is about the Bible. So you know how they say that you use the Bible as your armor, or you armor up or anything like that with the scripture. So I forgot what channel I was watching, but man, and this blew my mind. Like, the guy was explaining that, since the devil's weapon is his word, like he fools people, right? The devil fools people. Well, the guy was saying that the reason why they use the Bible as your armor or your sword against Satan's, because when you read scripture, right, and you're able to understand it, you won't be as easily fooled with Satan's word if you know what's going on in the scriptures. And that, I was like, whoa, that kind of blew my mind. That blew my mind. I was like, wow, that's so right. That is so right. But don't be fooled, because the devil does know the scripture too. He knows the scripture, and they know how to spin words and all that stuff. Just, you see how the politicians learned it? They learned it from the devil. They know how to deceive people. Just saying, man. Casual Gigi, what's going on? It's been a while. I haven't seen your name around here in a while. Kiss, thank you again for dropping those links. Thank you. Texan says, don't argue with the agenda. It just causes problems. Well, my agenda is just my agenda with God. That's all for me. I'm just done. I'm done with the politics. I'm just done with it. I'm done. Let's see. Sea Dragon says, if you have the correct Bible. Yeah, and I'm beginning to learn that it's the KJV is probably the closest thing you can get. But also, it's also how you interpret things too, which is why you got to learn how to, there's other things you need to supplement with script, like learning how to, like, certain word meanings, or roots of words, I would say. Subpack says, it helps remind me that life starts with faith and inevitably ends with it. It does, man. And don't think that anything in between that is just filler. No. It's a lesson for you to freaking, like, it's a lesson, You have to learn in between life and your death is to me, it's a learning process. Like, we have to learn how we're supposed to be when we to get up there to begin with. Like, how can we qualify to get up to heaven, right? Because there's a lot of distractions in between life and death. There really is a lot of distractions, and you just got to learn how to freaking, like, unlearn things and relearn them, but learn them in a way how God is supposed to, how God would present it to us. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I like, my thinking now is so different. It's so different from when I started to have this show till now, because I have totally given up on whatever politicians out there. I don't care who they are. I don't care. And if I lose followers for that, I don't care. I don't care either. This is my salvation. This is my salvation I'm working on. And if people are going to dislike me for that, then hey, it's my salvation, Anyhow, I had a great time with you guys tonight. I hope you guys did too as well. Even though we had a lot of foolery going on with the 4 articles that we reviewed. Definitely we're going to do this Wednesday again. But then again, the bar will be open on Sunday, I believe. So far, Sunday looks like we're going to be open at 12 p.m. Central Time for my usual midday mix session. If you like music, come over for that. As you see me DJing live on camera. Well, not me, but my hands. And then next week, Monday, is my God Day. We're going to do the second part of Paul the Apostle. It's a very interesting movie so far. I'm still learning about all these people in the apostles, and I'm still learning. I'm a never-ending student, and what I'm doing is I'm sharing my experiences with each and every one of you guys in hopes that you come with me on this journey to have that relationship, because that's important. It really is important. You don't want to play around with your salvation, We have no time for that. We have no time. I have no time for that. You do whatever it is you do with your time, but as for me, I have no time for it. You know, I can't be distracted with this tug of war of politics. I just can't. I can't. So, if that's what you want to do, then cool. It's cool. But for me, I don't want to gamble my salvation and put all my trust into man to save me to go to heaven. No siree. Not me. Not this guy. All right. Like I end every show every night. Always be kind to one another. And if opportunity presents itself to pick somebody up, please do so. Because you'll never know when you're going to need that picking up. So, hope you had a great time tonight. It was nice to see all you guys, especially to the ones that are always here. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, let me just do my plug thing before I go. I know Kiss has put down the link there for the link tree, and you can support the bar by Gold Pills, checking out my merch store. What else? Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Those are the ways you can financially support the show. If you can't, you can always share the links for the show. That's the easiest way you can always help me out. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, CloutHub, Gab, Twitter, BitChute, YouTube, Twitch, DLive, where else? Rumble. I think that's all. I think that's it. I still don't remember these things. I've already done this show for like almost a year and I still can't remember these things. Huh. Boy, I'm getting old. Anyhow, yeah, always be sure to pick somebody up if they need to pick it up, because you'll never know when you're going to need to pick it up. So, with all that being said,
The bar is now closed.
I can't help but wonder if I'm under a spell. It's more than a passing notion. I've never fallen with such devotion. I can't help but wonder if it's only a dream. Am I naive or can I believe that things are really as they seem? Can anyone explain how to understand what's true? I know I just can't tame it. Whenever I'm with you, I can't help but wonder if you wonder about me. 'Cause lately I can't help but wonder how wonderful this might be. Can anyone explain it? How to understand what's true? I know I just can't take it. Whenever I'm with you, I can't help but wonder if you wonder about me. 'Cause lately I can't help but wonder how wonderful this might be. 'Cause lately I can't help